Is Manchester United 3, it is Northampton Town 1. Fantastic result in many ways because it builds confidence, but still so many questions, so many things that we need to know the answers to, that we may never know the answers to. Just watching Jose Mourinho there doing his last press conference just after the game, he's not happy. He wasn't happy before it. He was asked what he wanted from Wayne Rooney. He said goals more than once. He didn't get goals. He wasn't asked about Rooney afterwards, surprisingly. Probably would refuse to say anything about it, but he didn't look happy. And he isn't happy, and we're not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the way the press are clearly out to get him. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think as United fans, we need to stick with the manager. You know what? If he outed whoever the dressing room leak is, or he outed these players who are causing him issues, then I think most of us would stand by him and say, you know what? I do like those players, but what have you done over the last 3 years? You've not been fantastic. And this is a new area. We need change. He was never going to come in and use the squad that we've got and turn them into title winners, because that squad is riddled with issues. It's going to take time. There are going to be issues, and all I can say is it will take time, and I think we should all expect that. Talking about the game itself, the sad thing that came out of the game from me was that Michael Carrick was man of the match, and in the first half on the watch along I was saying he needs to come off on the 60-minute mark, because he can't do two 90-minute games in 3 days. He's too old for that. If he doesn't come off after 60 minutes, he's clearly not going to start the game against Leicester. And what was abundantly clear from that first half was that Michael Carrick needs to start that game against Leicester. He was clearly the man of the match, and the reason for that, and the massive difference from anybody else playing there, I'm not just going to single Fellaini out, although he's the obvious one because he's been playing there, was that Michael Carrick just sits in that position and does the job. Fellaini wanders away. That's why we were getting cutbacks against Watford going in. That's why they were cutting through our midfield so easily. He just wanders out of that position. He hasn't got the discipline. The second thing, he did it in the very first minute. He picks up the ball, and like Michael Carrick can do, just one stride, he does that scooped 40-yard pass into the box to Memphis, and we nearly score a goal, but we at least put the team on the back foot. Fellaini can't do that. It's not in his skill set to do that. He's along the floor. He's a 5 to 10 yard passer sideways. That's what he is. Michael Carrick will do anything. He can do those passes like he's blindfolded, but he mostly will look for a 20, 30, 40 yard pass forward to make things happen, and he's a nightmare to defend against because you never know what sort of pass he's going to make. It's not rocket science. He 100% needs to be starting in the team. I know he's on the decline, I know he's getting older, but he still offers so much confidence and composure and flow to our team that it's going to be criminal when he doesn't play on Saturday. I can't see him playing on Saturday because I just don't think he can play 2 games in a row like that. He certainly couldn't last season, so why would he be able to do it now? And I think by not resting him and taking him off, it's a large indication that we're going to stick with the Fellaini thing, which again will create its own problems. Pleased with the goal scorers. Michael Carrick goal was fantastic from a poor free kick from Rooney. I thought Daley Blind should have been doing a little chip round the wall into the left-hand corner. Why Rooney take it, I don't know, but we score a goal from it. Second goal, brilliant. Rashford lays the ball off. You don't even know who he's laying it off to because the camera angle doesn't show it. Herrera comes in, bullets it in, unstoppable. And then the final goal, bit of hilarity, bit of a mistake from the goalkeeper, but it kills the game and means that we're not hanging on at the end. It was a penalty for Northampton. That was because of Rojo's inability to not head a ball out of the box under no pressure at all. Clumsy from Blind, but if Rojo deals with it, we're never in that situation. The big elephant in the room, I've got to talk about it, Wayne Rooney. What's my assessment on Wayne Rooney? It's quite simple, this. I thought he would have scored tonight. I think Jose did as well because he said he wanted goals. He played at number 9. A lot of you were saying before the game, he can't play number 9 anymore. He's not got the legs for it. I think that became quite clear, didn't it? He's not got the physical attributes to be able to fight against centre-backs either. Zlatan's got no pace, but he can fight with centre-backs and he's got very good ball control. Rooney's not got that and he can't fight with people, so he's a bit redundant as a number 9. He should have scored in the first few minutes. He missed from 5 yards out. I don't think it's lack of effort with Rooney. I think it's just been a decline over 3 years that it's so many of us expect him to drop back to what he has been over the last decade. And I think because you keep comparing him to that, he's so far away from that now in the decline that we just think he's playing crap every week. And, maybe he is. I just think the decline is just so different to what Wayne Rooney really is. And also, I think maybe a positive, he played 90 minutes. He surely can't play in the midfield on Saturday because he was so bad there on against Watford. He's not going to play at number 9 because that's Zlatan's position. Surely this is a huge indication that he will be dropped. Personally, I don't think he will be, but everything suggests that he will be, and he deserves to be. But it wasn't good. Every player and a Manchester United shirt against a League One side like Northampton should be getting 7 or 8 out of 10 after 90 minutes because you're far better than them. I would be generous to give him 6. I think realistically he got 5, which is below average. And in all fairness to Wayne, he'd have come out of this game with more credibility if he'd never turned up and he'd been dropped, because that's how insignificant his performance was today. It just wasn't good. It wasn't as bad as Sunday, but it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Lynn Hall says Carrick and Herrera both man of the match. Why isn't Mourinho playing both of them regularly? I don't know what we're going to see with our team on Saturday. I don't personally expect Carrick to play. I don't expect Herrera to play either. But you just don't know what he's going to do at the moment. I think the bigger issues is that Jose looks unhappier than he has for a few weeks. That's probably because of what the press are up to, no doubt. We've got to get behind him. They are trying to turn us against him. And also this dressing room leak is probably not very nice either. The one positive is we won tonight. Another positive is he's got Zlatan in his corner, and we'd always want Zlatan in his corner. Rashford played well. He didn't seem to be influenced by it. Herrera was obviously up for it. Carrick had a good game. I think short term is all we can deal with at Manchester United. I think long term Jose will get it right. I think short term we're going to have some troughs, and hopefully we'll have plenty more peaks. But we've got to go to Leicester. We're not going to Leicester. We've got to go into the Leicester game, sorry. It's at home. Leicester are a team. We're not a team. He's trying to build a team, but we are not a team. We struggle when we have to fight against teams. Leicester will. They're a team. It's a difficult game. I wouldn't put Leicester as favourites, but I certainly am not confident we're going to go and win the game. I think we need to win the game, but I'm not confident about it. I think there's still so many problems with our side in relation to continuity and identity, which is why I would start Carrick. I think if you bring Fellaini back into that team and you put Pogba back in that team, the same problem in the midfield occurs, and that is where you win and lose games. So I would play Carrick. I just can't see it happening because of him playing 90 minutes tonight, and it's so close to Saturday lunchtime, and he is 35 now, so I hope he does. I can't see it, and I think that will cause problems in itself, but he's the right man for the job. We're just going to have to suck it and see, and I think in the short term that has to be drop Rooney on Saturday and let's see what happens. There's no certainties with it. Let's see what happens. I think one of the most telling points I would say about that game tonight was that after the penalty, the way the Northampton lad ran over to the stands and was virtually crying because he'd scored a penalty against Manchester United. It meant that much to him, and it was a very, very sharp wake-up call for me, and I think some United fans who were watching the watch-along as well, to go, that's what it means to score against Manchester United. To take a penalty, which you should be scoring, you're nearly crying because you've scored a goal against Manchester United. It meant the world to him and that club. The problem we've got is I don't think it means the world to some of our players to play for Manchester United like it used to. You think of your Robsons, your Keanes, class of 92, loads of players in our past when we've been successful. It means the world. I look in that team, I don't think there is that many who it means the world to, and that is a massive problem. I mean, he needs to sort that out, and I think Jose is the right man to do that. The second problem is we don't have a leader. We don't have a captain, and whether... I don't think Rooney's ever been a captain. I don't think he is a captain. But if you drop Rooney anyway, look at that squad. Who is a captain? Who is a leader? You got Schweinsteiger, who won't get anywhere near the team anyway. I think it could come in and do a job. Zlatan's probably only going to do it for a year. We need some leaders coming through, and there aren't any. Some of them maybe, but they're too young. But genuinely, who is going to be a leader in that squad? We do lack them, and that is something we've neglected badly. And that's probably why one of the reasons Rooney hangs on so much is because I don't think he's a great captain, but he's got to have a lot of experience, especially at Manchester United. Good point, no passion, says Mac NT52. I think it's a huge problem at Manchester United. We need to rectify it, but I think Jose's the man to do that. I think the problem is you can't judge Manchester United on the pitch. We will always be judged on results on the pitch, and the press will love to do that to us, but there's massive problems behind the scenes, and when you've got a dressing room issues like he clearly has, and he's about to make an even bigger one if he does the right thing and drop Rooney, then that will reverberate around the club and that will cause issues on the pitch. And that is why I'm reassessing where Manchester United are going to end up this season. If we get third or fourth, I think that's not a bad season. If we win the title, I think it's a miracle. I think we've got a very hard season ahead of us. I think it's going to be a very interesting one. I think we've got some tough battles ahead. And I think the biggest battle is the battle within, with a squad that has got loads of experience in it, but it's experience of 3 years of abject failure and poor performances. And if he went and got rid of 10 of those experienced players, then I wouldn't blame him and I wouldn't have an issue with it, because ultimately, have they really deserved to stay after what we've seen over the last 3 years? We've got to trust the manager, we've got to get behind him, and that doesn't mean we're going to have win after win for the next few weeks. I think we might have a few more bad results, but we've just got to stay and focused on the fact that I believe 100% he's the right manager for Manchester United, and we will get there. But I think he's got to break down an absolute massive mountain of issues within the club and a few big egos, and to get that, there's going to be damage afterwards, and that may well cause us a few issues on the pitch. It's not going to be easy, but I think he's the right man to do it. And I think as a club and as fans, we need to come together and ignore and fight back against the external hate and agenda that is out there to derail our manager and our club. We have no doubt about it. Some of the press reports today, they're reporting about dressing room unrest. They're reporting about how this is exactly the same as the issue we had at Chelsea after a handful of games. They want him out. That's what sell papers. They want Jose out. And the best way for them to do that is to get us to turn against him, as the fans. I implore you not to do it. I implore you to stand with the club, stand united, and be patient. Ignore the last 3 years. You can't judge Jose Mourinho on the last 3 years, which have been bad. You judge Jose on the last couple of months and give him at least a year. That's what I'm going to do, and I hope everyone else will do it. Small steps, short term. Let's see what happens on Saturday, and let's reassess. Thanks everybody for watching. Speak to you all very soon with the Leicester preview up tomorrow, and obviously we'll be live with another watch along on Saturday lunchtime. Please drop us a like and keep getting involved. Comment below.